Hey guys, this is God of Politics. Welcome to a brand new video, but before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But in today's video, I do want to talk about how Biden could win the popular vote by maybe up to around 5 percentage points and still lose the election in the Electoral College. So here I do have the 2016 electoral map. You can see Hillary Clinton got 232 electoral votes. Donald Trump got 306 electoral votes. But you can see here that, as you know, very well known, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 2.1 percentage points. She won it by almost 3 million votes, but she still lost the election. There are a couple other examples of this. Going back, you had the 2000 election. Al Gore also won the popular vote. The first example before that was actually 1888, but it's happened a couple times before that, but we don't need to get into that. But the gist is that, this may become a lot more common in the future, where you have Democratic presidents winning the popular vote due to the fact that they're doing better in some of these larger states, while also doing worse in the Electoral College because of who it naturally favors. It naturally favors smaller states and naturally favors, some of these states that are in the Rust Belt area. But this is a thread from Nate Silver, and you don't necessarily have to like Nate Silver, but this is based on his model, which shows the chance of Biden winning the Electoral College, winning the Electoral College if he wins the popular vote by X number of points. So if it's 0 to 1 percentage points, he only has a 6% chance of actually winning the election, meaning that, he could win the popular vote by hundreds of thousands of votes, and he'd just have a 6% chance of winning. That's, again, because of the fact that you have, gains in these coastal states, gains in these other big blue states, and even some red states. Biden is expected to gain in a state like Texas, and, he could gain hundreds of thousands of votes in Texas while still losing the state. So that's another thing you have to watch out for. But, 1 to 2 points, it's still just a 22% chance. 2 to 3 points, Hillary Clinton won it by 2.1 percentage points. At that point, Biden would have a 46% chance of victory, but then we look at the election in 2016 where Hillary Clinton won by 2.1 percentage points, and we look how close this election was. You see that Donald Trump only won Michigan by just under 11,000 votes. He won Wisconsin by, 20-something thousand votes. He won Pennsylvania by, 45,000 votes. So, these are very thin margins, and you flip, only 50,000 votes in all three of these states, and then the election is immediately Hillary Clinton's, and she only won it by 2.1 percentage points. But we get up into these higher ranges, 3 to 4 percentage points, the chance goes up to 74%. 4 to 5 points, the chance goes up to 89%. But at 5 to 6 points, it's at 98%. But you could, plausibly say that at a 5-point popular vote win, Joe Biden could still lose the Electoral College. But the question is, what would make Joe Biden win the Electoral College, or win the popular vote by, a more substantial amount than Hillary Clinton, but not win the Electoral College? So I do want to look at the polling averages for, some of these very big states, some of these big blue states, some of these big red states in many cases. So I do want to compare it to the 2016 results, which I do have up here. These are the 2016 results. You can see, Trump obviously flipped these 6 states and he won the popular vote. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and Trump won the Electoral College. But you can see here the size of the lead. You see, all these small red dots account for, the Republican areas, and some big red dots too. And then all the big blue dots account for the big Democratic areas. So you look at an area like Georgia, these big blue dots account for the Atlanta area, and then the red dots around it are the Republican areas. And you can see here, obviously, that the Democratic areas are centralized in the urban areas. And if Joe Biden continues to gain in these urban areas and even these suburban areas, he's going to make gains in a lot of the states where he's already winning by a substantial amount. So you look at a state like California, for example. California, currently Joe Biden is ahead 62 to 31 in the polling averages. Now, this is only a 31-point lead, which would be the same as Hillary Clinton, who did historically well in California. It would actually be 1 point better. But you can see in the scenario, there's only 93% of the vote going to either Joe Biden or Donald Trump, meaning some undecided voters will probably go to Joe Biden, to be honest, because you look at the way California is changing. You see, pretty much all these areas in the state are trending blue, and the areas that aren't are smaller counties. So California could easily trend more towards the Democrats than it already has. You look how fast it has trended. You go back to just as recently as 2004, and George Bush only lost the state by 10 percentage points. You flash forward 12 years from that, Donald Trump loses its state by 30 percentage points, and we're seeing a situation where Joe Biden could win it by even more. We go to another very big state, the state of New York, which is tied for third in terms of the largest electoral vote count. 62 to 31 is Joe Biden's lead, a 31-point lead. If you go back to 2016 here, Hillary Clinton only won by 23 percentage points, and she got over 4.5 million votes in the state. So we look at this and we see, well, if Joe Biden wins the state by 31 percentage points, that's going to be hundreds of thousands of votes more. Then we can look at another state like Texas, for example. Texas, in the current polling averages, has Donald Trump winning by 1.3 percentage points. Now, I do think that Donald Trump will win the state of Texas. I think overall it's trending towards the Democrats, but it is still a Republican state as of now. If Donald Trump were to win it by 1.3 percentage points, that would be almost an 8-point trend, and that would be pretty much as big of a trend as there was from 2012 to 2016. And you can see here, Hillary Clinton, although she only got 43% of the vote, she got 3.9 million votes almost. So Joe Biden, especially with this high turnout election, would probably be cracking, over at least 4 million, maybe 250,000 votes. So he gets more of a boost from a state like Texas. But the thing is that all of these states have in common. He's gaining in California, he's gaining in New York, he's gaining in Texas. That doesn't help him electorally because, like I said, I don't expect Joe Biden to win Texas. He's already won California, he's already won New York. He's just improving in these states. So at that point, it only helps your popular vote margin, but not the electoral college margin. And you can continue these listing these states out and out all day long. You look at a state like Massachusetts, Joe Biden's winning 66 to 28 with a 38% lead. We go back to 2016, Hillary Clinton only won this state by 28, so that would be a 10-point improvement in another state where Hillary Clinton almost cracked 2 million votes. We look at even a state like Illinois. If you look at this, Hillary Clinton was actually, I believe, born in Illinois. This was technically one of her home states. She won it by 17 percentage points. We go forward to this year, Joe Biden's projected to win it by 18 points, and that's with a lot of undecided voters because you can see here, you've still got more undecided voters, many of those being black voters. Joe Biden's only getting around 80% of the black vote here, and so he can do very well in the Cook County area and the Chicago suburbs. That again helps him a lot with the popular vote, but not with the electoral college. We can look at a state like Ohio. Ohio is another very big state where Joe Biden, I do expect to improve. I don't expect him to win it, but I expect him to improve. Georgia is another big state, and all these votes, all these states have millions of votes being counted. I've already talked about California, Texas, New York, Illinois, Massachusetts. You can add Ohio to the list, Georgia to the list. You could even talk about a state like Washington. Washington, Joe Biden's projected to make improvements. He's projected to win, according to the polls, by 25 percentage points. We look at 2016, Hillary Clinton only won this state by 16 percentage points. So that's another 9-point improvement. So all of these states, which are either already very blue states or red states that are not going to flip to the Democrats, Joe Biden is expected to perform better. And now this is kind of, the black pill for a lot of Democratic voters is that, just when you look at the national averages now and you see, whatever Joe Biden's up by, currently he's up by 10.3 percentage points right now, it would only have to tighten by, say, 4 percentage points, and then Donald Trump is, somewhat in the path of getting to victory. So, you look at 2016, there was a polling error of around 1 percentage point. And if you're going on the assumption that Donald Trump can win even when losing the popular vote by 5 percentage points, then, it would only have to get to around Biden plus 6. And then you've got a chance that you will lose this election. And sure, national polls, you don't even have to pay that much attention to. But I just did want to bring attention to the fact that, part of Joe Biden's very large lead, people are just questioning the lead and questioning the validity of the polls because of the fact that these are numbers we have not seen before. Even in 2008, Barack Obama only won the popular vote by 7 percentage points. The reason Joe Biden could easily win the popular vote by this much, not 10 percentage points, but, maybe 6-7 percentage points, is because of the fact that he's doing better in these large states. Do I think the cutoff is around 5 points for Joe Biden winning? No, I think it's probably by around 3 percentage points. If he wins the popular vote by more than 3, he will probably win, but it is certainly big enough to make an impact. So it is something that's notable. It is something that's we should watch out for, and I will continue to watch for it as we get closer to this election, which is now only 14 days away. So thank you all for watching this this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.